Hello everybody, my name is Victor Bravo and I am with Lithia Subaru of Fresno, and I am super excited to be putting this video together for you on the 2020 Subaru Ascent. This vehicle is amazing. It's a really big car, but it doesn't feel like a big car. It handles more like a small vehicle. And I'm going to point out some really cool stuff so that way you can get an idea of what you can expect when you come in and drive the car with me. Just kidding. So if you can get a shot of this right here, that's a sensor that picks up any kind of resistance or pressure on the car. So if your kids did have their hands here and you did close it, you're not going to hurt them in any way. But this is really cool. So this button here, if the doors weren't open, I could hit this button and it'll lock the doors and drop the gate and lock it and engage the alarm. And it's really cool. And this button here is just to close the gate. So if you look at the bottom of our car, we have an 8.7-inch ground clearance. And the cool thing is we don't have any big bulky boxes or transfer cases that hang out under the car. So it's a straight shot all the way down. So you don't have to worry about things bumping the bottom of your car, like rocks or logs if you're going off the gravel road, off the paved road. If you did want a tow hitch, this section of the rear bumper right here comes off, and that's where they install the tow hitch. If you look closely here, these little sensors are for the reverse automatic braking. So if you're backing up, they do give off an auditory sound in the cabin to let you know that, hey, you're getting close to something. If you fail to hit the brakes after that warning, it's going to apply the brakes for you. It does have dual exhaust in the back, and this is a limited trim level, so basically that means you get leather seats. This car comes standard with all-season tires. It does have a 20-inch wheel, and if you get in here, you can see that there's plenty of sound dampening material inside. So that way it keeps a real quiet ride on the inside. It doesn't matter what trim level you get with the Subaru Ascent, they're all gonna come with tinted windows. And they're going to have the rails for the roof rack on top. If you're new to the Subaru brand and you're not really sure what this is, it does come with the shade here. So all of our cars, they have a roll cage that's built into them already. So Subaru uses more boron steel than most of the other manufacturers out there, and a lot of the other manufacturers are using aluminum. So since aluminum is softer than boron steel, that means they have to use more of it, making the pillars a lot bigger, making it harder to see out of them. So because of the high strength steel and the roll cage, that's how they're able to get our visibility so thin. But if you notice down here, that big bolt, that's called an engagement pin, and that gets locked into the frame of the car. And if somebody was to ever T-bone you, there's a boron steel bar that comes across here, and it holds its position to prevent the car that's hitting you from going into the cabin where you and your family are at. You're not going to see a engagement pin on the front door, because instead of having one boron steel bar, there's two that come across the driver door, so you don't need it for the driver door. Another thing that I really love about Subaru is that they put this mirror on the body of the car. It's not covering this whole corner section of the window, making a big blind spot. So they do that for cyclists and people on crosswalks so the driver can see through that. And I'll give you some examples of that in a bit. We'll come around over here. On the limited trim level, you're gonna have the LED lights with steering responsive headlights. So with the steering responsive headlights, basically what that means is that when you turn your wheel to the right, the headlights move to the right. Turn it to the left, headlights move to the left. And the benefit is, so if you're going around a mountain, the light's gonna get there before you do, always giving you the best visibility, which is awesome. So if you come around over here, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. Put the camera right on the glass here. You're going to see these lines, or it's a heater core. So those heaters are making when there's ice making the blades stick to the glass, those heaters heat up real quick. So you get longer life on your blades, and heating up the car in the morning or warming up the car in the morning is really quick, which is awesome. Eyesight. And Eyesight are these two cameras here. So basically what the job of Eyesight is they're reading the lines in the road and they're reading the traffic that's in front of you. So if you're driving and once the car goes over the line, it thinks you're falling asleep. So it's going to go, and then lane keep assist will kick in, and then it'll bump the steering wheel and put you back in the center of the lane. And then the third thing that Eyesight does is when you're driving and you have your cruise control set, it's going to notice that the car in front of you is going 65 if your cruise control is set at 75, and it's going to slow you down to 65. And you can control the distance that it keeps you from the vehicle in front of you. So if you want it to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 car lengths from the car in front of you, you have that choice. There's a frame inside of the side mirror, and that's because these side mirrors and the rear view mirror, they dim automatically. This LED Subaru light symbol there, that's called the puddle light, and that lights up. It's really bright in the nighttime. This is the blind spot detection. So they send out a radar at a 45-degree angle in the back of the car to pick up anybody that's in your blind spot. So if somebody's there, this is going to turn orange. If it's lit up orange and you put your blinker on, the car thinks you're going to make a lane change with somebody there, and then it starts to flash at you. So if this light is lit up orange or it's flashing, do not make a lane change because somebody's there. And then this right here is the sensor to lock the doors. And then there's another sensor that's inside the handle. So when the key fob is on you, when you stick your hand in, it's automatically going to unlock for you. And then if you touch that and walk away, it's automatically going to lock for you. It's not going to lock because I have the key in the car. One thing that might take you some getting used to is they put the gas tank on the passenger side. 2 reasons: shorter lines at the pump, and if you're ever stuck on the side of the road, you're not trying to put gas in where cars are zooming by you. Let's go inside the car so I can show you some cool stuff in there. After you own a Subaru for some time, you're going to really appreciate all the details and all the little things that they do that make your life easier. Just to give you an example, one of the coolest things that they do is, you see how this seal here goes all the way to the bottom of the car? So let's pretend like you're out on a camping trip, or you were going off-roading, or you were going through the mud and the dirt, and you don't have a chance to wash your car for a few days, and you're back to your regular life, going to work and stuff. If you're wearing nice clean clothes, you don't have to worry about this getting all filthy or full of mud. So when you're getting in and out of the car, your clothes aren't going to get dirty. And that's just a really cool detail that they did. It does have the memory seat settings for driver 1 position and driver 2 position. And the cool thing is when you hold the key fob down, the Subaru cluster on the key fob, and you set the seat, every time you come and unlock the door with that key fob, it's going to adjust to your seat, which is really cool. This one comes with the Harman Kardon sound system. Sounds amazing. And then just automatic windows roll-ups and roll down on the driver and the passenger. They call this a multi-texture interior, so everything that your skin touches is soft. Okay, so when you put the car into reverse, the backup camera automatically engages, and the RAB down here just lets you know that the reverse automatic braking is on, and the P stands for the parking sensor, and you already know that that's on. And then when you turn the wheel to the left, these orange guidelines lets you know that's where you're going to end up with the wheel cranked that much. So the furthest green line away from the bumper here, this is the bumper, you're 5.5 feet. The green line is 5 feet. The yellow, you're 3 feet. From the red line to the bumper, you're a pen's length away. So you're right on it. There's no drag, no delay. It's real time. So if a kid or a dog's back there, it's really there. And then this screen up here, if you go through it, there's your time and the day. We can travel 50 miles with the gas that's in the tank. And then this down here will be your real-time miles per gallon, Bluetooth, Moxa, the Salvador group. It's hot. Average speed is 11 miles per hour. This is a really cool screen because this will let you know what degree your car is at if you're going up a mountain or down a hill. And when we're driving, those wheels will turn green, and that lets you know that there's power going to the wheels. That's a really cool screen to be on when you're in the snow, because you never want to press the brakes if you lose traction in the snow, because that's when your car will slip out or start to slide, so you can know which wheel. See how I'm turning the wheel there, and then the wheels turn. You can turn into the wheel that lost traction, and that way you'll always have grip. And that's just letting you know that the safety features are turned on. Okay, so if you think about the home button as the desktop of your computer, it's always going to take you back to these same 8 options here. Now, if you have Android phones, then you're going to have to download the Android Auto app. If you have an iPhone, when you plug it into these USB ports down here, then it's automatically going to pop up Apple CarPlay, and then you have access to your audiobooks, your text messaging, your phone calls, your contacts, and your navigation. And it's pretty cool because if you have Waze, you can use Waze on it too. That's how you turn on X mode. And what X mode is, basically what it does is it splits the power 50% to the front wheels, 50% to the back wheels, and delivers 25 to each wheel. So think anytime you need extra grip to your wheels, or see if you notice there, it's showing that you're on a downhill slope. So if you are going down a really steep hill, you can hit X mode and the car will crawl you down instead of gravity just pulling you straight down. So to give you more of a control. Now AVH down here, that stands for automatic vehicle hold. And so let me give you an example. Let's say if you're at Starbucks or if you're in line to get food somewhere and your foot is tired of holding the brake, and you can put it on AVH, take your foot off of the brake, and the car will stay still. Once the car in front of you goes, then you can give it gas and then the car will go. So here we're looking at the lower left quadrant of the steering wheel. There's an up and a down arrow. If you toggle the arrow up, that's for your your trip be, and that's just letting you know that we can travel 50 miles with the gas that's in our tank. That's the tire pressure. So that's the digital speedometer. The car's been running for 6 minutes, and we've traveled 0 miles, and that'll be your MPG average. But I suggest that you have it on the 0. So that way you can just look down and easily glance and see how fast you're going. Now, because this car does have navigation, it will show the speed limit right next to the big 0. So this button here on the top right, on the right hand side, if you hit that button, that turns the cruise control on, and you'll know cruise is on because there's a car that appears with a horizontal line in front of it. Now I'm going to add lines by hitting the button right next to that on the left, and now each one of those lines, think of it as 1.5 seconds a time, or that time is equivalent to a car length. So this is going to hold you 4 car lengths from the car in front of you. You can hit this button opposite and take away lines, so that way you can pace closer to the car in front of you. This button here, see how it appears there? That gives the car the ability to bump the steering wheel and put you back in the center of the lane. That's called lane keep assist. And then right back here tucked behind the steering wheel, when this little orange button is lit up, then that means that's the heater for the steering wheel, and you'll feel it get warm, which is really nice for winter cold days. So that's a one-touch retracting shade, and then if you hit this button right here on the right, that'll send the moonroof back. And it is panoramic, it is huge. Just fantastic. Okay, so this right here, this is the microphone that picks up your voice. The SOS and the blue button is for information. That's for your Starlink, and I'll make another video on that, on how to connect your phone through Starlink to your car, so that way you can control your car through your phone, like starting it and stuff like that. If you wanted to keep an eye on your munchkins, there's a mirror here, so that way you can see behind the car. This button here is for lane departure, and you'll know that it's off if you see it on the dashboard here. You'll know it's on when you don't see it. That is for the automatic stopping. So that way, if that's what turns off these cameras' ability to stop the car if you fail to stop the car. The only time I would recommend that you turn that off is if you're going through one of those car washes that use the beater bars, so that way every time those things slap the glass, the brush slaps the glass, it's going to think that something's there and it's going to want to keep trying to stop on you. So that's when you turn that off there. Cool thing too is our sun visors extend out, and they do have lights and a mirror. Okay, so here in the center console, it does come with a change tray, so you put your quarters, nickels, and dimes here, and your registration or your wallet right here, and you can put it there on the top. And it is really deep. It could fit an iPad in here, and let's say if you did have something charging like your phone or your iPad, you can feed your cord through these little grooves here, so that way you're not smashing your cord every time you close it. And I love this little compartment that they added to it, so that way you can just throw your phone in there and you can put tissues or whatever you want in there, and it's not going to be rolling around everywhere. It's also really cool. Now this thing has 19 cup holders. I know it sounds like a lot, but there's 2 in the door there, there's 2 here, 2 here. I'll show you the ones in the back. Tons of cup holders. And it also too, I almost forgot to mention that this car does have Wi-Fi capability. So if you guys are out in the mountains or you're doing stuff, you can have Wi-Fi capability through AT&T, and I believe it's $25 a month. Don't quote me on that. I'll make any corrections in the description of the video, but I believe it's $25 a month, and yeah, you can have Wi-Fi wherever you go. And there also is an iPad package that you can get with the car, and it comes with Harman Kardon headphones that are wireless also, which is very cool to keep the kids entertained. Right down there at the door, there's 2 more water bottle holders. There's one up here, and then if you come down here, there's another 2 here. So there is 2 USB ports to charge iPads or tablets and cell phones. And this is amazing because back here independent from the front. The passenger side can control their temperature, driver can control their temperature, and the back can control our temperature back here. So that's raising the heat, that's lowering the temperature, and that's turning on the heated seats, and that's turning off the heated seats. Mode controls where it comes from. The vent, so there's a vent for the middle row, and there is a vent back here for the rear seats. Okay, so that is to recline the seats back, and there is an armrest that folds down on this side to make it super comfortable for you. If you pull number one, that's to lay the seat down, and that drops it flat. And there's 85 or 86 cubic feet of cargo area when all the seats are down. And it's really cool. I'm not sure if you can see, come over here, see that little handle on the top. So those little handles right there, they took that idea from the bullet trains in Japan. That's what they used so people can pull themselves into the train, and they added those to the top seat so the people can pull themselves into the third row back there. There is 2 more cup holders back here on the passenger side and 2 more cup holders on the driver's side. And there are tweeter speakers in the back here also. And there also is 2 USB ports tucked back here. And those are to charge tablets and iPhones and stuff like that. Now, I'm 6'1" and I have plenty of room back here. I'm a little bit touching the top up here, but if I kind of slid down a little bit, I'm perfectly fine. I could do a quick 2-3 hour trip to the Bay Area, to San Jose or San Francisco. No problems, completely comfortable. Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. If you have any questions at all, shoot me a text, give me a call. My phone number is 559-260-0793. If I don't answer, just leave me a voicemail. I could usually return a call within 20 minutes. If you have any questions about the trim levels or anything else about the Subaru Ascent, I look forward to hearing from you. Take care, and thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share this video.